are no longer a member of the European Union. The scene
Well, howdy there, pipe pals and gals. Old Holy Smoking Pipe Padre coming back at you on this video in February. And I'm still smoking some good old pirate cake, lads and lassies. Right. Yeah, I'm still the reason why I'm smoking some pirate cake. I like that name, pirate cake. Let's get that going, shall we? A little Dunhill lighter there. She's a good girl. This is somebody had asked me after my January video, what this, it's an Italian pipe. Aldo Veneti, something like that. It's not a Sunday Savinelli. But it is an Italian pipe. And it's very, very Sherlockian, very calabash. It's a briar calabash. And I probably have had this for over 40 years. I think I bought this when I was in seminary. Because I remember I did buy it when I was in seminary. I remember it now, so. So anyway, well, I'm back here. I'm raising not only a pipe to the memory of good old John Matches H860, but also some sparkling ginger ale. And I have to say, John was, I think, was a good connoisseur of pairing. So you get the pungentness of pirate cake or any C&D blend. And, well, there you have it. It works. You know, good old pirate cake and ginger ale. Who knew? Well, I'm making this video, on Sunday evening. I got to be careful that I don't be tapping things because I noticed it comes through the video. Like the other night when I was making my little tribute to John, I was tapping the Schwan Vestas. These are great matches, by the way, on the table. Little coronavirus there. Gosh, I hope not. Yeah, but I know it's probably not the most it's pretty counterproductive smoking when you got a cold. And I haven't had a cold in almost a year. And I noticed that when I came up here this last summer, that normally I get a fall cold or winter cold. And up until just a couple of days ago, I hadn't had any kind of problems at all. So I'm a little concerned that my luck's run out now. So I'm going to smoke out them cold germs. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to talk about some things tonight that obviously are going to torque some people off. And probably some people will be like, yeah, cool. I think I started my video here with a little bit of a tribute to Brexit Day, which I guess officially got underway on Friday night. I guess February 1st. No, February 1st was Saturday. Today is Sunday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Okay. And so it was the 31st of January. Friday evening at 11 p.m. Greenwich Standard Time, I guess it was, and the UK left the EU. So that's why I played those little videos. I came home today, stopped by Tesco on the way home, and got myself a really traditional English meal, bangers and mash, and I really enjoyed it. So hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray for the UK today. And I guess I could even go ahead, even though it's going to be a little bit premature tonight to say this, but I'm going to have to say happy Acquittal Day as well. Yeah. Now, I know you Remoners in the UK, those who wanted to stay part of the EU, I'm very sad for you, because obviously at 11 p.m. on Friday evening, a steel curtain went up all around the island of England, of Britain. And so now people can no longer travel to the EU if they wanted to. They can't do that anymore. Concentration camps are now being established for all those who are part of the Labour Party and all those other fringe groups. So if you're one of those groups, you're going to be going to obviously a concentration camp now. Your civil rights have been suspended, don't you know? And so that's life in the new UK. Okay. I hope you realize that I'm being extremely facetious in saying all that, because precious little has changed there. Just like it happened Brexit passed June 23rd, 2016, and then that following fall, on November 9th, or 8th, Donald Trump became president. And of course, again, all those horrible things happened, as people know, and this new Hitlerian dictator came into power. But again, and I've shared this in my videos before, that I think people really they're just irrational in their fears. I was watching an interesting video by a gal called Patriot Nurse. Patriot Nurse. She's kind of good. She's really good. Knows her stuff. But we were talking about the virus, and ooh, look at that ring there. I wish I had another camera. There's a ring, a perfect ring. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I'm not going to say it. Oh, I wish I had another camera. Oh, you got to see this. It's a ring, and it's just barely, no, okay, it's pretty much gone. Well, wait a minute, no. Yeah, now it's gone. It's dissipated. But for about almost 30 seconds to 60 seconds, it just hovered there in space. I wonder what that means. But anyway, so she said something that I thought was very insightful. Insightful. No, not insightful. Illuminating. That's what I want to say. Illumination, but something very illuminating. She said the thing that spreads faster than a virus is fear. Ooh. I thought that was really good. Fear. Because so many times, I think 90% of all the reason why people get so caught up and angry about politics, and I think politics is not a good thing. It's a necessary thing, don't get me wrong. But pirate kick is hard to keep going. But people just have irrational fears, and they just they assume bad things are going to happen. Like the concentration camps are going to happen for all these marginalized people. That you're not going to be able to travel anymore, whether it's from the UK or the United States or whatever. And nothing is further from the truth. I dare say that people want to go to Europe and travel from the UK, with the exception of this virus. Now that's going to put a damper and a quarantine on some travel, I suspect, some restrictions. But anyway, but for the most part, when things are normal, people, go about their business. Nobody's going to ask you to show you their papers. No one's going to say you can't do that. Oh, excuse me. Some people say you can't speak your opinions anymore on certain media platforms. That's been happening. But anyway, but for the most part, life is actually pretty good. So, again, I don't know. Actually, it's kind of funny for us as people in the YouTube pipe community. Probably, there may come a day when, again, they're banning things like ammunition and firearms in Virginia. They're making it almost impossible. And it's almost like they're going to come and confiscate your firearms. What would happen if those people, again, I think it's all based on fear. They're afraid that an inanimate object is going to get up and walk over and shoot somebody. That doesn't happen. My old grandpa's, he had an old rifle. And I remember we were taught to respect that, if you, don't ever touch Gramps' gun. You need to have permission. It's not a toy. And I remember being kind of afraid of it, but I had a healthy respect for it. I mean, I wasn't afraid that it was going to get up in the middle of the night and shoot me, but I was concerned that if I monkeyed around with it, if I kind of played with it on my own, like tried to, pretend it's a toy, I could get hurt. That was a sense of, it's a dangerous thing, treat it with respect. And guess what? That gun sat in that closet probably for close to 50 years. Didn't hurt a single soul. In fact, I think it was kind of lonely because nobody ever really paid much attention to it. I know my grandmother did. So fear is the thing that I think really can just, it's worse than maybe a disease. I mean, in some ways it's a disease of the mind, fear. Don't know why I kind of got on this tangent, but I guess where I'm going tonight with some of this stuff is that just so many people who think that somehow now, because their agenda, their ideas are not going to be able to, pardon the pun, trump others to where now you can't speak the way I don't like you to speak. So you can't say that anymore. You can't talk that way because I'm going to make sure that you don't get a chance to say that because it offends me. And so we have come to 1984 and we are living part of it. So unfortunately, the people that are the ones that yell and scream the loudest about being oppressed actually, okay, you sitting down? Okay, I want you to sit down for this. The ones that are doing that, the ones that are screaming that they're the oppressed people, they're actually the oppressors themselves. I know that comes as a shock, but that's the truth. They're the ones who would like to put people like me and maybe you, because you like, say, pipes, Again, I remember going out to a park a number of years ago with my buddy Don. I think we called him the country pipe smoker or something like that. He never did start a YouTube channel. They have to pipe in sunshine and the internet to where he lives. He lives out in the sticks. But anyway, we went out to an outdoor park and, at first I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden I saw these people at park benches around, little kids. And, he and I started lighting our pipes and I thought, oh, I forgot. somebody might come up here and say, you need to put that pipe out. You can't smoke here. Now, fortunately, nobody did that. But you know what? I was a little bit self-conscious that maybe somebody, and again, this is outdoors, sunshine, trees blooming, just beautiful flowers, ducks on the pond, all that stuff. And I thought, supposing somebody has a real, up their rear end about pipe smokings or smoking in general, and they get really angry. Fortunately, that day didn't happen, but I do know that there are just so many places, more and more, you're just not allowed to light up a pipe. So could it come to a day where they come and they knock on your door and confiscate your pipes? Could that day be coming? Don't know. So again, so I hear somebody already saying, well, there you go again. You're buying into your own fear theology. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I'm not afraid because I'm not doing anything illegal, immoral, or unethical, okay? But there are people in the world today, because they want to label something as bad, as somehow, it's evil for society, and they somehow they become now the arbiters of what's right and wrong. And now they come and they say, you can't do that. And that's what's happening to some groups of people. Now, I personally, this might come as a shock to some people, but I actually believe, live and let live, Again, I don't agree with you. Some of you out there, I don't agree with you. You don't agree with me. And that's okay. I mean, life would be kind of boring like that. But we live in the United States, or some of you live in Europe or Deutschland, Hello, Yogi. Guten Abend, mein Freund, alles klar. Ich hoffe, alles klar mit euch, my friend, with you. But anyway, so, people are free to choose what they think, believe, associate with whomever they want, and I don't have a problem with that. I may not agree for either theological or political or philosophical points, but I don't hate you, and I hope you don't hate me, because I might differ from you. I mean, I have tried, when people have been kind and friendly to me on the YouTube Pipe channel, I have tried to reciprocate with friendship and respect. And there's a few that probably you'd be surprised that I actually talk to on a regular basis, and we're friends. I mean, I know it sounds hard to believe, but it's true. But again, I take people personally. It's an individual thing, Now, groups of people that are bound together by a philosophy, well, I will probably challenge that philosophy and say, I disagree with that philosophy. Now, I'm not telling you can't believe that way. See, that's the difference. I'm not saying, okay, you're a part of this group, this organization, whatever, whether it's another religion, it's, another, identity politics group, okay? Chances are, I'm probably going to say, well, I don't agree with that, and here are the reasons why. But if you are just an individual and you want to say, hey, I'd like to be your friend, or I'd like to, have a polite, respectful conversation, by all means, absolutely, not a problem. But unfortunately, there is a growing sector of our societies, whether it's here in the USA or the UK or other places, that have made it very clear that you cannot think, let alone say, certain things. It is verboten. Okay? So, unfortunately, I choose to reject that philosophy. Okay? So, if you're somebody who is so ultra politically correct, and I've even had a few people, which is kind of funny. I guess they're intrigued by us pipe smokers. But I'll have a few people who will really take me to the woodshed and say, how dare you? Kind of like Greta Sunburn. Greta, I guess her name is Thunberg or whatever, but I call her Greta Sunburn because I think she's been out in the sun too long. How dare you? Me smoke a pipe. You're supposed to be a man of the cloth. Actually, I tell people it's actually plastic. It's not cloth anymore, plastic. But anyway, But, they really think it's a real violation, of some, religious vow that I've broken by smoking a pipe. And I remember when I actually was long time ago, long before I actually even became a Catholic, and I was, making my transition from being kind of a non-denominational, charismatic Christian to becoming a Catholic. And my spiritual director, who has actually sat at this table, we've been together for, almost 40 years now, I guess. It's got to be, But anyway, I remember asking Father John about, because I thought, well, I like, and again, I was watching another YouTuber, I call him Old Northwest Pipe Smoker. I guess it's Old Tom Northwest Pipe Smoker. He did a really nice couple of videos for John. Matches 860. See, it kind of evolved from that. I want to take a little sidebar here about John. At first it was just Matches 860, but then over time he kind of flourished it, Matches 860. So I was kind of playing with my little moniker, Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. I don't know if it works, but instead of, because I just say Holy Smoking Pipe Padre, but that sounds more like an Holy Smoking Pipe Padre, when you say something, like, well, Bob's your uncle, Sally's your aunt. It's an expression. It's not just a name, but it's an expression. See, that's what John was able to do with his, which when you think about it, I remember at first thinking, why would somebody have a name like that? That doesn't really make sense. And he has videos explaining his moniker, and they were very interesting. But again, the way it evolved, it was more of an expression, an emotion when Matches 860. So, and again, I was thinking about kind of making my name, Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. Like, when you step in some dog poo-poo. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. I don't know if that's a good association, but well, there you go. So anyway, I just don't know where I got off on that, but I got off on that little sidebar about Matches, about John. Speaking of which, let's have a little salute to him. Delicious. And I think it kind of works. I think it kind of works with the old pirate cake. How's that going out? Anyway, so, the other thing about Old Tom Northwest Pipe Smoker, he said something which I thought was like, hey man, I really relate to that one. He had said, he was in his car, or his truck, because he has a Dodge. I ever told you, we have a truck. Gotta have a truck up here. And, but he says, I only smoke most of the time, just make videos. When I make a video, that's when I usually do it. I have to say that in many ways, that's the way it is with me. I don't really, and again, one of the reasons why people get mad at me when they find out I'm a pipe smoker, they take me to task, because they say, oh, you're encouraging addictions and everything. I said, no, I'm not really. Okay, let me tell you, I know all about addictions. This is not one of them. I think there was a time, believe it or not, though, when I first got into the YouTube pipe community. And I guess let me just say this, then I'm going to talk about YouTube pipe community. There was a time, I think, and I had a little bit more free time. And I think I was making, obviously, a lot more videos back then than I am now. And I think I was smoking probably once a day. And I got to a point where I really was enjoying it every day. And I think that was maybe for a month or two. Now, was I becoming addicted? I don't know. But I got to tell you that there was a point where it was like more of a daily occurrence than it ever was before. Again, once in a blue moon, not to confuse blue moon pipe tobacco, but, and just enjoying a pipe was an occasional thing. And that's the way it is now. It's always been that way, except for maybe a couple months, probably back when I was in Good Shepherd in Elk Grove. And I'd just gotten into the channel, and I was, buying pipes and reviewing tobaccos and, listening to everybody else. And it was just great. It was a lot of fun. And it still is. Now, since John's passing, I have to say that I kind of noticed that some of the people that I remember years ago have gone now, and that's okay. I guess there was a question raised by some, well, is this YouTube pipe community thing, is that fizzling out and everything? It's just like anything else in life, people come and go. Again, they have the freedom to do that, we all have real lives. And some of them are probably very, very busy, busier than mine. And I have a pretty busy life. So to be able to crank out videos, like I'd like to, and maybe have I done in the past, it's not something I actually have the luxury of doing these days. My old Mac workstation that I had in Chico there, I'll show you some video of that. It's been sitting in boxes for the last 7 months. And so last week I said, I really want to unpack this machine and get it going again. So here it is now, 6, 7 months later, 8 months later, and I was really happy that I could get it going and it's working again. Since then, I have bought a brand new machine, which is faster, 100 times faster. Excuse me, pardon me. But there's something sentimental about my older Mac computers. And I love it. It's the old trash can Mac. I call it the Darth Vader Mac because I always thought it looked like Darth Vader. Anyway, so, I'm able to make videos from time to time, and it's a joy to do it. It's fun to do it. I like doing it. I mean, share with you a little bit of my afternoon today here. There's some little video there of the new snowfall. Taking a walk in the snow, and so anyway, but life is good. And I just, I guess I like this channel because I think I can be, not the other channel, I have to focus on basically the readings for the Mass. And so, I have a little bit more of a presentation where it's a little more formatted. This is more just kind of free association. Again, smoking a pipe, talking to you, and even you. I like you too. Yes, I do. I like you just the way you are. Even if I think your opinion's wrong. But you're entitled to be wrong. I'm entitled to be wrong. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, you knew that was coming. But people, there have been some really wonderful people I've met. I don't know where they're at now. I haven't seen, being able to kind of see people's responses to John's passing. I saw, some people that I remembered. Yogi in Deutschland, he had a beautiful video. A remembrance of John. And let's see, of course, an Old Tom Northwest pipe smoker. I've seen him forever. I think he was born with a pipe in his mouth. I really believe that. But other people who have come and gone, I was going to maybe say their names, and I don't know if I want to do that now. Not because I don't want to say their names. It's just that I feel like, you know what? You know, they've wandered off the reservation. Not really. I think there was a think of, you know, well, you're not really a part of this group. And, you know, sometimes that happens. You know, people kind of like, well, where's your group loyalty kind of thing? You know, I think that's one of the things about the YouTube pipe community is that, you know, you make this whatever you want. You know, whatever you're comfortable with. You come and you present and share. And most people are going to go, oh, a new video from... I was going to say Matches 860, you know, God rest him. But, you know, you see people that are still kind of active and they've been there for a while and they still make videos and maybe not as much like me or whatever, but they're still there. And, you know, every now and then they'll be lurking, you know, making comments. You know, I try to do that sometimes, kind of say, oh, I'm still here, guys. But anyway, but it's a free association. There are no real club dues, you know. No one's going to come banging on your door and asking you to donate, you know, to support the YouTube pipe community. Now there's an idea. But anyway, but it is, you know, free association, and you know, you make whatever you're interested in, whatever you want to talk about, or not talk about. You know, that's perfectly fine for you. Some people don't want to talk about current events. I do, or personal things. I do sometimes. You know, sometimes people just, you know, they kind of focus, you know, they say, okay, here are the parameters of what I'm going to talk about, what I'm not going to talk about. And that's okay too. Again, some people are just like wide open spaces, whatever kind of like comes to their mind at the time, and they'll talk about it and make comments or opinions or whatever. So you're free to do that, I think. But it's kind of nice. And then people sometimes, I know in the past, people would exchange gifts. I've been really kind to. I've been the recipient of some very kind people who have, you know, been very kind and generous and sent me little gifts and trinkets, you know. And at first I was a little embarrassed by that, or kind of like, well, why are you doing this, you know? What's going on here? But again, I think it was just people just being friendly, being kind, and it was really nice. I've sent some people that I kind of liked, you know, sent them little gifts from time to time. And I used to have contests. I don't know, I was looking at the videos and the community a little bit, and I didn't see a lot of contests going on. Maybe somebody can answer me this. Do some presenters still do contests? I used to love doing contests. I thought that was a lot of fun. So maybe, I'm just saying maybe, there's a little question mark there. Maybe I could do a contest, you know, in the next few months. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I thought contests were a lot of fun. The only problem was that I had to figure out a way just to do it randomly. So if people, you know, I set my guidelines, you know, I showed people the gifts, and I always sent those gifts out, folks. So if you wonder, well, he just was making that up. He wasn't going to really send that. No, I actually did. And that people would actually make videos saying, yeah, he's legit. He sent me this, whatever it was. And it was really nice. So, but again, there's a lot of people that I remember, and I have to say I didn't see them. And again, I didn't go through an exhaustive, you know, looking at everybody's videos. I mean, you know, and sometimes I'll go in my subscriber queue and say, wonder if so-and-so is still posting. And then maybe I was looking, and they'll say like the last video was like 4 years ago. Or maybe the last video was even 7 years ago. I'm going, oh, that was a long time ago. And I don't see any new ones. So, you know, but it's okay. Guess what I'm trying to say? It's okay. So let's not try to guilt people because they walk away. Maybe they'll come back. And there was a couple of people who've come back and said, oh, I'm under a new name now, but I used to remember your videos, and I used to go by this name. And I went, oh, okay, I remember that. So, you know, they say hi, and I say hi back. I tried to answer most of my comments. I would be disingenuous, and I would be up straight line saying I answer every comment. I don't. I tried to somehow at least indicate with a little thumbs up or a little, you know, if you say something really I like, you know, I'll give you a little heart. I'm pretty easy at that way. I was a really easy grader when I was a teacher. I have to be honest. I was kind of a sucker for giving out good grades, you know. I mean, if you were really making the effort and, you really did a good job. I might take that into consideration and make it from a C plus to a B minus or a B, whatever. I was that kind of a teacher. I was a teacher before, before I became a padre. But anyway, so all I'm trying to say is that I think it's okay if you make videos, great. And if you're just kind of, you're interested in the pipe community and you'd like to just watch videos, that's okay too. And if you've kind of wandered away for a while and kind of said, well, I just don't have time for this anymore. Well, that's okay. And maybe someday you'll come back, and if you come back, we're going to welcome you with open arms. No one's going to say, well, you don't post anymore and you haven't posted in so many times, so you're out. You're out of the club. It doesn't happen that way. And I'm sure John would say, absolutely, holy smoking pipe padre. That's right. So anyway, I just, like I said, this is just a fun channel for me, and I love doing it. I love making videos. I just love making videos. And it's not about, I said this on my other channel, somebody was kind of trying to put me in my place. They thought, oh, I'm going to let this guy have it. Because I had said some things that they obviously did not agree with. Can you imagine? Anyway, so he thought, well, I'm just going to just cut this guy right off at the feet. Going to just really make him just cringe. He's going to know that he's nothing. And he goes, well, for somebody who has such a small subscriber base, you sure, how did he word it? You sure are very free with your opinions. Like, the only way to have an opinion is to validate your opinion, you have to have a huge, subscriber base or viewer base. And I thought, well, that's an interesting idea. I don't know. So I just laughed at it. Actually, I just thought, well, I guess he thought he was going to just like really let me have it. Boy, I got you, buddy. I just kind of gave him the old Crosby shrug and said, well, that's your opinion. I think I might have even typed it back, well, in your opinion, And they don't like it when I say that, in your opinion. Well, what do you mean in my opinion? I'm telling you what. So, I've never done it for views. I never monetized this channel either. I have 2 channels. Never monetized them. And I think that I know a lot of people did, and for a time maybe they were making some of the people that really make big videos of big viewership. There are some people who were and still are, I guess. They actually make pipes, so they're pipe carvers or maybe they're tobacconists. They have shop, so that makes sense. You want to get your name out there. You want to get your brand out there. You want people to find you so they can come and buy your wares. That makes sense. I'm not selling anything. So I don't need to monetize. And I think it's left me a little bit of freedom, not much, but I don't know what the algorithm is. But if you say anything controversial or something that they don't like, they just, I guess they bury your videos so people just can't even find them. If they know your name and they can type it in, yeah. If they've subscribed to you in the past, yeah. But if you've somehow transgressed the holy, sacred YouTube gods, and they've said, uh-oh, this is a bad person, we don't like them, so you're still on, but they kind of make sure you're buried. You can't find you. And that's okay too. I'm not, you know what? Just like YouTube pipe community, YouTube in general, it's a free association. I choose to be on their platform. They make their rules. I think some of the rules are kind of draconian. It may be changing. Carl Benjamin, who's known as Akkad, he's a very, very intelligent young man, and he has been following the Brexit thing and other politically incorrect movements in the UK, and his comments on them every day. He's quite entertaining, quite refreshing, I have to say. And so anyway, but he said something about Mark Zuckerberg kind of supposedly coming to his senses. I don't know if this is true or not. and actually saying, okay, enough of this. I'm for free speech. And from now on, Facebook is going to be free speech. By the way, this might be a little bit of a name dropping thing, but Mark Zuckerberg actually lives in my neighborhood. I shouldn't tell you that, but it's true. Now, I don't know him personally, obviously, but if you ever wanted to come by and say, hi, I'm here, Mark, hey, look me up, friend me on Facebook. Of course, you know what? Facebook kind of shut me down because for the last 6 months, I hadn't been posting anything. And when I tried to log on after 6 months, I guess there's some security thing. And it says, sorry, but we don't really recognize you. You have to validate. You have to, instead of just putting in a couple of codes or getting a new passcode, they got it's almost like you have to show 3 copies of your original birth certificate, and that kind of stuff. I couldn't get back on. So I don't think there's any Facebook people that subscribe to me on this channel. But if you wonder why I don't answer, there's only a few people that I even know on Facebook. And if you're somehow got from Facebook to over here and you go, oh, there he is. And you go, how come you haven't been answering my Facebook stuff? It's just like, I can't get on anymore. Again, I've been banned, Anyway, so, well, thanks for watching. I'm kind of probably go nurse this little coronavirus that I got going on here. So anyway, so God bless you all. Thanks for watching. And it's really been a joy to be able to sit and just kind of have a pipe and a chat with you all. And so, as I like to say, I'm going to try to do that Tom thing. How does he do that? Well, he has those little stubby pipes, and he talks in his teeth like this. I mean, it can be done. You can learn how to do it. I mean, it's kind of cool the way he does it. I don't know if it's cool the way I do it. But anyway, I'm more of a sipper. I think John was kind of more of a sipper, Hey, YouTube, I always wonder why he kind of would do that. Just kind of, like I said, sipping it, which was a nice thing. I thought, that's a different way of doing it. I like that too. But anyway, so as I close this video, again, a little remembrance to Matches 860 and light up your world, light up your pipe, and have a great week. We'll see you soon.